thought today we could talk a little bit about what to do when you're doing nothing, because I think a lot of us are in that position right now where we don't have as much freedom as we're used to. We're mostly kind of bunkered down between work and being at home. So maybe we can get an Arcturian perspective on what is the best way that we can use some of our time here with everything that's changing to make the most out of that doing nothing and making a something out of the nothing.
Okay. Now, I'd just like to say one thing before I answer that is I want you all to know that most grocery stores, you can call the grocery stores, you can put in your food, and they will bring it to you, and you don't have to go out and go into a grocery store and see lots of people. And the what to do when you're doing nothing. Wow. So you're in your house, you're hopefully with somebody, and if not, well, you've got your television, you've got your music, and what to do? What do you want to do? Because within one's daily life, there's so many things that they have to do. They have to do this. They have to get there at this time. They have to get gas for the car to drive a long ways to get to work. They have to, they have to. Right now, it's all right. Here I am. What do I want to do? So, how would you think, Danny, that people can discriminate between the have tos and the want tos? Because there's often so many have tos, they forget that they have want tos.
That's a great question. For
Mm.
me, I think about it as, am I doing this because I'm thinking about how someone else will react, or am I doing this because I'm thinking of what I need? I think a lot of the times, especially growing up, we're so used to doing things because we need that validation or that feedback from someone else, or we're doing it to kind of like go along with the masses. So I won't get in trouble. I'm doing the right thing because everyone else says this is the way to do things. This is the way that, and I think we get so caught up in everyone in the collective's voice. And if that collective voice is a fear based one, then that can, for us who are so focused within, that can really cause an imbalance. And in order to rebalance that, it takes courage and it takes a lot of clarity to go within and to figure out, wait a minute, my voice is not telling me to listen to that voice, all of that fear, all that collective fear. My voice, which is that loving higher self, that loving inward voice, is telling me what I should do to best take care of myself while still being safe.
Yes, that inner voice. This is definitely a good time to remember about communicating with our higher/inner voice. And it's a good time to think about how and where and when you would like to put aside a personal space at a particular time where what you can go on a regular basis. And so you build an energy field. So if you are taking advantage of this and you're wanting to, be artistic because you never had time with that in your daily day, well, make a place where you're going to be artistic. And that's your spot. And you have all your art supplies there and you do what you do there. If you have friends that you haven't talked to for a long time, get on the phone. They're going as stir crazy as you are, and have some good conversations with people that maybe you haven't called for a long time because you're always too busy. But now it's not like that. Now it's a lot of empty time. And people aren't used to filling empty time, right? So, what would you say? You're younger than me, and I'm a woman, you're a guy. So, how does a guy fill his empty time when you're locked in your house and you don't want to go outside? You can't play basketball or baseball or anything. You're in the house. So,
Well, I can't speak for other guys because I don't play those sports. But
yeah.
what I can say for myself in general is I 100% agree with the two C's that you just brought up: creativity and connection.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we tell ourselves that we don't have quote unquote time for because, oh, I have to go to work and then I'm going to be too tired after work, but I have to exercise or work with my kids, or, and we get so obsessed with, okay, my schedule looks like this, and therefore, because it looks like this, I don't have time to make it look like what I want it to look like. But the fact of the matter is that no matter who you are, some way or another, your schedule is shifting, and that's partially out of our control. But what you do
Yes.
have control over is, what is your schedule shifting to? Is it shifting inwards to where you can build up that creativity, where you can connect with the people that really have that impact in your life? Or are you going to try and keep what you had going on, that busyness, that nonstop drive? Are you going to try and keep that alive during this time where things are kind of died down?
Yes. Because a lot of life is learning to accept what is. Because some things happen in one's life, and if they can change it, then absolutely get some help, do it yourself, call a friend, change it. But right now, everyone has something in common all over the world. The entire world is united with one thing. And that one thing is, how do I survive? What do I need to do to keep myself and my family and my friends as safe as possible? And to do your research, find out what that is, and then make it a part of this part of your life. This will not go on forever. This too will end. But nobody really has any idea how long it will take or how difficult it will get. And so we want to keep ourselves busy, because if you start going stir crazy, that will make an hour seem like 2 days. But if you're doing something creative, or calling an old friend that you haven't had a chance to call for years, or fixing up that room that you wanted to fix up, or start doing this new type of art, or learning how to dance something off of the internet, create a life. Create a life.
Create a life. And I wanted to also ask on that same subject, from a galactic perspective, how is this period of creation, how is this contributing to not just our own personal ascension, but also for the ascension for the planet?
This is a vital component of planetary ascension, because in order for a planet to ascend, there has to be a great unity within that planet. Because if the planet has this country that's that way, and that country that's that way, and these people that are that way, and the other people that are the other way, it's like a big puzzle that you dropped on the floor and you can't pick up all the pieces. But if you are thinking, what does Gaia need right now? What do we need as the inhabitants of this planet? And how do we change our focus on our personal life and expand it to encompass our planetary life?
Encompassing our planetary life and our personal life together. And once we go inwards to see that we've already been doing this up until this point, once we put our awareness and our consciousness to that, that's where we can really see that expansion. And it does take that creative energy that we were talking about before in order to make that happen. And then also a belief in yourself too, because what you believe in is what your reality is going to project out too. And if you believe that, oh, I don't have any space or time or anything to grow or to go within, then that's what's going to manifest. But if you believe in, okay, I can go within, I can find what it is that I'm supposed to do, I know I have the answer, then even if you don't have the quote unquote answer that you're looking for at that time, you're setting yourself on the path to get there just based on your belief.
Yes. And, what you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking about, I am going to use this time when I am in my house with my family, and remember that you can call different grocery stores. They will bring the food to you. So you don't have to go hungry. You don't have to starve. You want to keep as much of your life the way it has always been, as much as you possibly can. And so if you have you do yoga at 10 o'clock, or you take a nap in the afternoon, or you have a certain time where you call your friends, keep those patterns that you have in your life, keep them going. Let yourself continue to be yourself, and know that you are a very brave person. You are a very brave person, and it is normal to maybe have sometimes that you're afraid, or that you can't imagine what's going to happen, or that you've totally gone stir crazy from being someplace you don't want to be all the time. This is something that everyone in the world is experiencing in their own different ways. And what is occurring is that being alone, one really has the opportunity, alone or by themselves, or alone with just their family unit, they have that opportunity to really go inside and look at themselves and say, okay, so maybe even write a little autobiography. What happened in my life so far? And then what was my best ideas, and what were my worst ideas? And how did I grow from both of them? And you know what? I've always wanted to do watercolor, and I have this watercolor kit that's been in my closet for years. I'm going to pull that thing out, and I think I have some paper. I'm going to finally do that. This is a wonderful time to be creative. Make a special meal you want to make, or draw official pictures, or take photographs, or do what you always wanted to do, but you didn't have time. Now you have time. You have lots of time.
Oh, I love that, and I love that push to keep what is positive in your life, keeping those positive routines that fill you up and keep you happy, like the yoga at 10 o'clock, or like the nap in the afternoon, keeping that structure, that flow present in your life, while also adapting to that to be able to accept in more positive things and more opportunities for rest and for self-growth and for connection. I think that's so beautiful to be able to know that, our way of life is different for sure, but how we were living before, the things that made us feel good, those don't go away. We can keep those going, and we can take what did go away and put in something positive as well. And I
Yes.
really appreciated what you said about just taking a moment to write your own story out and to see, oh, how is it that I got to where I am right here and right now, the decisions I've made, the experiences that I've had. And I know that this is something that you and I talked about in our last video that we put up. And I wanted to also ask for those individuals who are still working, for example, in the healthcare sector, in um, any essential worker positions, what is something that this group of people can do to where they're in the chaos? They're not as isolated as most people are, but they still need to ground down and they still need to have that inner time. What is it that we could recommend for them to do?
Well, one of the things is that you want to stay above the fear at all times. And the people that are assisting, they're surrounded by fear. They're working with people that have this weird disease. They don't know how they got it. They don't know if it'll ever get fixed. Um, and that can really weigh on people. And so, dear wonderful health caregivers, please give good health to your care, to yourself, and make sure that uh, you tune in and you don't go too far. Like, maybe it's been in half an hour and you have to take a break. You need to like take a break, take the break. And if you feel like I'm on a run and I can do this and just stay with it, then just stay with it. And allow yourself, your higher self, your fifth dimensional self, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a second, but allow your higher self to speak with you and know that you can always allow yourself. And it's really helpful if you have like a certain time and a certain place. Because if you create a certain time and a certain place where you meditate or go inside or play with your kids or whatever you do that helps you feel normal, okay, I'm doing the best I can, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of my family. But routine, because when people are working and going to school and driving, there's tons of routine. And so your life is based on routine. Oh, I got to get out of the house by X time to get the kids to school on time. Then I got to go there time to get to work, and my lunch hours from here to here. And so life is very dictated by the things that are happening. But when you're in lockdown in your house, there's no one telling you what to do. So enjoy it. Enjoy that this is your just free flow time. And you really can go within yourself and think, all right, what do I want to do? What feels good for me right now? And how can I hold an energy field that is supportive to the people that are around me, to the people that I communicate with, to the people that I am inside of myself, my wounded child, my adult that, needs to have something important to do. Right now, the most important thing for people is to stay alive, stay healthy, stay safe. And that sounds a little scary because maybe during the world wars, there was this type of situation. But thank heavens we haven't had a situation like this for a very long time.
Absolutely. And being able to go and connect inwards to our higher selves and bringing that into our experiences, that's the whole point. It's not an escape, it's okay, how can I look at what I'm looking at with a different perspective, with a different higher lens? And every single one of us, no matter who we are, where we were, what we're doing, what our job is, where we are in the world, we all have a higher self and many higher selves. And to be able to know that we all have the same opportunity and the same ability to connect with that higher voice and that higher being, that higher consciousness, and bringing that into our realities as we face uncertainty, as we face change, that is so transformative and so empowering to know that we can dictate how it is that we are reacting to what is happening, because we might not be able to control every single thing in our external environments, but what we do have control over is the power to go within, and finding that power within and connecting with others who are also having that same power within can be something very beautiful, especially during times like this.
Yes. And doing yoga, meditating, singing, dancing, playing the piano, drawing pictures, watching movies. Don't allow yourself to get bored, because boredom is not going to be a helpful thing within this now. And you will find, even if you play solitaire, personally, I find playing solitaire really like brain dead action. You just play solitaire, you just relax, and that's all you're thinking about. Oh, did I get this one over? Is this the one that's right? You know, um, so that you are realizing that you have a choice about what you do inside yourself. You have a choice about what you do inside your home. And in this reality, as it is right now, a whole lot of choices are taken out because people need to isolate within their homes. And some people are really brave people and they have to go out into it, and blessings be to them, and blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire, and just remember to love yourself and love what you are doing, and make sure that you remember this for what it is. This is a really great experience for everyone to write out their life, write out this experience, and then to get a blog and put it on the blog and say, okay, this is my blog, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going under, and would you like to comment? So not only are you not alone, but you're meeting people you didn't even know were around, because you're meeting them on the blog, or you're meeting them on a social media, or in one of the many different types of social media that they have right now. Luckily, this has been set up. So within this time, people don't have to be alone. They have the ability to connect with other people. Now, of course, there are people that don't have a computer, or they don't, they're on the streets or they're outside. They can't do that. But they can look up into the sky, and they can look up into nature. They can find a great tree to be under, or help somebody that they see that needs help, and allow themselves to do all these helpful, creative, transmutative things, to know that when this is over, not only did they survive, but they actually expanded. They actually became more than they were before.
Becoming more than they were before. Yes, thank you for sharing that perspective. And thank you for being able to adapt that to all sorts of situations and people and settings. And knowing that there really is no one size fits all approach. It really just does take that chance or that opportunity, or saying yes to the opportunity of, okay, I know what I need. I might not remember, or I might not consciously know, or it's not in the forefront of my mind, but somehow, like, I know that I know what I need, and that higher self can really help us do that, no matter where we are, no matter what situation we might be in. And knowing that we connect with our own higher selves in different ways as well is also very important.